Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ratnika Vyas, and it gives me immense pleasure to be the host for the evening on behalf of Mr. Rami Chabra, Chairman, RCPSDC, and Chief Managing Director, Metro Tires Limited, also Mr. Vinod Simon, ex-chairman, RCPSDC, and Ms. Shivani Nagpal, COO of RCPSDC. On behalf of the Governing Council of RCPSDC, I welcome you all. Can we please put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so very much for taking out your precious time and being here today at this very, very special evening. Our very distinguished and esteemed guests, special invitees, senior officials, and representatives of central and state ministries, industry members, officials from NCVET and NSDC, training partners, assessment agencies, students, and various stakeholders across the huge value chain of the rubber, chemical, and plastic sector. Would like to specially thank and welcome our chief guest, Shri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Secretary of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Can we please put our hands together? Thank you. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Our heartfelt thanks also to our distinguished guests of honor, Mr. Rajendra Gandhi, Managing Director, GRP Limited, and Mr. Kishore P. Sampath, President, All India Plastics Manufacturers Association. I request our esteemed guests to please come on stage and light the lamp of wisdom. Thank you. Thank you all. I request Mr. Rami Chabra to kindly give a token of appreciation to our respected guests. It gives me immense pleasure to have Mr. Rami Chabra, Chairman RCPSDC, to give a token of well-deserved appreciation to our esteemed guests. Ladies and gentlemen, our gifts are made up of upskilled tires, which embodies the spirit of our green environment. This is especially designed, I must let you know, by the art assistants from Bengaluru. Shri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Mr. Rajendra Gandhi, Mr. Kishore P. Sampath. Well, welcoming all of you to this special evening on behalf of RCPSDC, let's commence with the welcome address by Mr. Rami Chabra, Chairman RCPSDC. I'd like to invite him for his welcome remarks, please.
We welcome Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, guest of honor Rajendra Gandhi and Kishore Sampath, GC members, ladies and gentlemen. Rspsdc was started in the year 2012 and has now completed 10 glorious years. The organization has touched new landmark with the time, and I had an opportunity to associate myself in RSDC Governing Council since inception, and now delighted and wishing to take the sector to the next level as being the chairman. The council was set up to ensure generation of skilled manpower in rubber sector, provide employment opportunity to youth across the nation, create career path in roles existing within unorganized and organized segments of rubber, plastic, and chemical sector, and ensures active participation of the industry in adoption of skilled manpower generated through Rspsdc. Before I highlight RDS certain developments, I would like to share my experience with this organization. I am associated here from last 10 years. When we started and we were taking baby steps, then as a president of my two-wheeler association, I have communicated to my industrial colleagues to have a participation in that, but that time nobody was interested. But somehow Mr. Simon and RSDC pursue me to start something in my industry. So we set up a very small center, and it was successfully run, and after seeing the achievements, we have opened 3 centers in our 3 factories. And they were really doing very well with the support of RSDC, and definitely the youth which is coming from the villages, 20 years, 21 years, they don't have any skill. Once we give them a training for 3 months, and they are quite useful, and they are promoted to something like assistant operator. Otherwise, it takes 1.5 or 2 years to reach there. So that is helping us, and seeing our success in our industry, lot of people have come up and they have set up a center. As far as India is concerned, India is the largest recipient of foreign exchange in the world through our employment generated outside India. So with this skill development, I think we can provide lot of good manpower all over the world, which will help us to generate foreign exchange. As far as RSDC is concerned, there are certain achievements which I would like to highlight. Develop 500 national occupational standard for manufacturing natural rubber plantation plastic sector. In total, 100 plus qualification are approved for conducting skilling program. Skill gap analysis conducted across 21 states in rubber manufacturing and plantation sector. 2.25 lakh plus training in manufacturing plantation job roles, and more than 70% of the certified students have been placed self-employed. Have 950 trainers and 500 assessors. Closely working university and colleges for bachelor in vocational studies in rubber technology and dual certification course across the country. STC has also partnered with various state skill development department, as well as working with central minister departments such as National Backward Class Finance and Development Corporation and National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation. SDC has also developed exclusive job portal for rubber industry employers to hire RSDCS certificate students, and also launch mobile app for easy access to update about skill development activities. With the project Samar skilled and certified 1 lakh tire fitter and has launched 40 mobile skill vans for increasing its reach across the country. It has been a pleasure to see SDC journey through the year, its achievement and milestone making steady progress, and it has bonded with all its stakeholders, took a special space over the years. It is a proud moment for all of us who are part of this organization. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for sharing your vision and mission for the council. Can we please put our hands together? Thank you very much, sir. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, RCPSDC has completed 9 glorious years and is now entering its 10th year. Let's see glimpses of the journey of RCPSD during these years. And I now request that we watch a video on 10 years, 10 glorious years of excellence and its highlights.
ट्रेनिंग के बाद हमने नर्सरी शुरू की और उसमें बाड़ो शुरू की। हमने पॉली बैग में पौधा लगाया और आजकल 50-60 रुपए में हम उस पौधे को बेच रहे हैं। ऐसे में यदि सबको ट्रेनिंग मिलती है तो सबके लिए बेनिफिशियल होगा।
To create skilled workforce and fulfill the skill gap in the rubber sector, Rubber Skill Development Council was set up by All India Rubber Industry Association, Automotive Tyre Manufacturers Association in collaboration with National Skill Development Corporation. RSDC also collaborated with United Kingdom Skill Sector Council under the project UKIERI, UKERI. RSDC's scope of work was enhanced by the collaboration with the Rubber Board of India to cater skilling needs of natural rubber plantation. RSDC increased its presence and performance by partnering with reputed educational institutions. RSDC's first BVOC program started with the Tripura Central University.
स्किल बेस्ड प्रोग्राम ही खोज रहा था, अगर मेरे को कोई मिल जाए तो बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट मेरे को मिल गया बाय न्यूज़पेपर थ्रू। तो उसके बाद मैं एडमिशन हुआ इसमें। उसके बाद जब मैं 3 साल कंप्लीट किया उसके बाद मेरे को अच्छी खासी नौकरी मिल गई वहाँ पर।
Under the recognition of prior learning, those already engaged in skill-oriented jobs were awarded certification by RSDC to help them further progress in their skills.
जब रबर प्लांटेशन शुरू हुआ सर 7 साल के बाद वो 2004 में हम टेपिंग शुरू किया है। 2004 इनकम बहुत है हमारे पास, महीने में 20-30 थाउजेंड मिलता है हम लोग।
RSDC spread its wings and started working closely with states and departments to bring weaker sections of the society into the mainstream through skill training.
उन लोग पढ़ाई, फिर आपका घर सपोर्ट कर रहा है, फैमिली को सपोर्ट कर रहा है, माँ बाप को देख रहा है और आरपीएस से सपोर्ट कर रहा है। लेटेस्ट को इधर आके सेल करता है, फिर उसको मंथली इनकम एक मिलता है।
RSDC launched a very unique project, Samarth, empowering 1 million lives in rubber to upskill tire fitters and rubber plantation workforce under the guidance of Shri Dharmendra Pradhan in first tenure as being the Honorable Minister of MSDE. So far, 41 mobile skill vans have been launched across 21 states, covering 119 districts.
ट्रेनिंग से जो सीखा था वो टायर का रिपेयरिंग, टायर जो खुलता है और हवा निकलता है वो टायर लगाता है, ऐसे काम कर रहा था।
Under the National Apprenticeship Promotional Scheme, RSDC imparted skill training and provided jobs to more than 9,000 youth across India in rubber industry. RSDC also initiated a CSR project with Bridgestone to skill 1,000 roadside tire fitters across India under the initiative Tire Carewala.
मेरे कस्टमर मुझसे संतुष्ट नहीं होते थे। उन मॉडल टूल्स की वजह से आज मैं बेहतर तरीके से रिपेयर करना सीखा। आज मैं उसको बेहतर तरीके से कर लेता हूँ।
Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and the Ministry of Chemical and Petrochemical issued an official statement to merge the CPC vertical with RSDC, thereby creating a new entity, Rubber Chemical Petrochemical Skill Development Council, RCPSDC. Post-COVID lockdown, RCPSDC started skilling thousands of laborers, arming them with new skill sets that encourage them to return to their villages across the country.
আহিলোঁ মাজতে লকডাউনত বহুত দিন মানে কষ্ট কৰি বহুত ফচি গ'লোঁ বাহিৰতে।
RSDC is trying to create opportunities for these return people so that they can get an livelihood coming back to their own home state.
RCPSDC's role is not confined just to skill imparting. It has gone much ahead and has created a robust job portal and placement network to assist the skilled candidates procure jobs. Dedicated to the vision of Skill India mission, RCPSDC's endeavor shall always be to impart, innovate, and encourage India's youth to skill up, rise, and be a part of self-reliant India. Now, RCPSDC is entering into its 10th glorious year.
Well, those were some fantastic highlights, very, very informative, and many congratulations on the completion of 10 glorious years. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I now request the keynote address by Mr. Rajendra Gandhi, Managing Director, GRP Limited. But before that, I'd like to introduce you. Well, he is a graduate engineer from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology. Under his leadership, GRP has emerged as one of the largest reclaimed rubber companies in the world. The company exports more than 60% of its products to more than 55 countries around the world. With an extensive experience of over 45 years in the industry and 7 plants strategically located across India, GRP stands dedicated to building a diversified corporation committed to provide sustainable solutions for a green planet while steadfastly creating great value for all its stakeholders. Mr. Gandhi is actively involved in various industry forums such as All India Rubber Industries Association and Indian Rubber Manufacturers Research Association. For his services to the Indian rubber industry, he's been awarded the prestigious K.M. Philip Gold Medal. Can we please put our hands together? Thank you. Sir, I request your address.
Shri Rajesh Agrawal ji, Secretary in the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Shri Rumi Chabra, Chairman, Governing Council of the Rubber, Chemical and Petrochemical Skill Development Council. Shri Kishore Sampath, President All India Plastic Manufacturers Association. Shri Vinod Simon, President Rubber Skill Development Council. Dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, award winners, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm good evening to all of you. At the very outset, I congratulate the Government of India for their decision and commitment through the National Skill Development Council to build, augment skills in all sectors of the industry and economy. Skilling India will enable Make in India. Make in India will lead to Made in India. And Made in India will lead to Shresth India, Shresth Bharat. This is the roadmap laid by the government. I extend my heartiest congratulations to all the annual award winners of 2021 in different categories. It is a recognition of your efforts in supporting the initiative of the Government of India. The Rubber Skill Development Council, since its inception, has been doing a commendable job in upgrading the various skills of grassroots workers across the entire value chain, starting from the rubber plantation to the export of the finished rubber goods, as we have just seen in the film. I would like to appreciate the leadership role of Mr. Vinod Simon in making RSDC one of the most skill development councils across different sectors of the economy. I am sure that the extended and the enlarged Rspsdc, that is the Rubber, Chemical and Petrochemical Skill Development Council, will continue to expand its outreach. In India, we are lagging in vocational training. In most developed countries in the world, vocational training in diverse skills is given to almost 90% of the population between the age of 15 and 20 years. But in India, I understand hardly 15% of the young population is exposed to any vocational skills. Here lies an opportunity and a challenge also. There is a sizable population of young people who are deprived of education beyond the secondary level. They end up taking up job at the bottom of the pyramid. With limited academics and no vocational training, they are not only at a disadvantage, but they become a burden for the country if they are made to fend for themselves. There is another angle to be considered. This is about the demographic spread. I believe the skill training for a 25-year and a 45 years old cannot be the same. Further training needs for a person from rural background needs to be different compared to the training needs of those from the urban background, simply because of their different exposures. Our company, GRP Limited, is one of the top 3 global manufacturers of reclaimed rubber. So far, GRP and RSDC, with their training partners, have imparted skills training to about 600 persons in skills relevant to our process. I am happy to say that more than 70% of our workers are coming from backward tribal sections with very little formal learning. I am also pleased to say that since this training, there has been a noticeable improvement in their performance. Once the COVID-related restrictions are fully lifted, we are looking to expose more of our workers in this skill development. At this point, I am also delighted to share that our company GRP has been awarded the FICCI Indian Circular Economy Award for 2021 in the MSME category. Thus, we are proud that we have been able to make our humble contribution in the twin objective of the Government of India in skill development and in encouraging circular economy. While development of hard or basic skills are very important to bring efficiencies in the process, but one must not underscore the importance of soft skills. I believe we need to combine the hard skills with the soft skills to have an overall effectiveness. Some of the soft skills include training in building positive attitude towards safety, hygiene, building trust and trustworthiness, adherence to standards, honesty, integrity, and not cutting corners. We are witness to leaders in different spheres who are highly intelligent and trained, but with unethical values, they have created such havoc. Similarly, skilled manpower without right attitude can be a huge drag. I want to quote, what people get admired and appreciated for in community are their soft skills, their ability to think, their courage and honesty, their capacity for empathy. Bharat or India can become Shresth when India is perceived by the world as a reliable, trustworthy producer and supplier of high quality goods and services. For this, we will of course need several individual companies and individuals to emerge as reliable, trustworthy producers of goods for the global market. Today morning only we heard about Paras Agrawal, an IIT colleague who has become CEO of Twitter. So this speaks about individuals have reached such high scales. But for India to be qualified for such recognition, this culture of positive attitude and trustworthiness must percolate and pervade across sectors of the industry and economy. That will help us to build the brand made in India. I believe India will find its rightful place in the world as the Shrestha Bharat when ethical roots are strengthened from grassroots to the top of the pyramid. There is a great need to build and augment skills amongst the large young population of our country who have been deprived formal education beyond secondary level. On one side, for the industry to remain competitive, they are aggressively investing in automation, modernization, and digitalization. While this will open new kinds of employment and opportunity, but it will pose great threat to those who are not skilled enough or are mainly engaged in manual work. This means the government will have to continue to infuse funds rapidly over a longer period to ensure that the demography we are proud of do not become a social threat. I would like to conclude by a quote of Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage the change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your highlights and also for enlightening us with your wonderful words. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pride to announce the launch of eKaushalcharya. It is a digital learning platform which is a one-stop solution that provides training through animations, infographics, and live videos. I now request Sri Rajesh Agarwal ji to launch eKaushalcharya, and I'd like to request the video for the same. Can we please put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, louder please. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We also have some special project announcements by Mr. Vinod Simon.
Chief guest for the evening, Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you. As you just heard, Rspsdc has completed 9 years and getting into its 10th year. So it's almost like a 9-year-old child. A 9-year-old child normally is in the 3rd or 4th standard of a school, of a primary school, not even in the high school. So if you look at that, The journey that SDC has run has been quite a long journey. It wouldn't appear to you like a 9-year-old child, but we have covered a lot of ground in the last few years. The rubber sector was dying for a project like this. And when it came, we didn't miss the opportunity to hit the ground running and reach where we are today. It has not been an individual effort, not just by one or two stakeholders. If you see the journey it started, of course, we have a governing board guiding the organization. We have a team at Rspsdc. It's not just them. We have our training partners, we have assessment agencies who are key stakeholders of this entire journey, not leaving behind the role of the industry bodies, associations who are part of this journey as well. Of course, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. We have the NCVT coming up now. We have NSDC. You can just name it. It has been a collective effort. So let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of us, all of you who have been part of this journey over the last 9 years. Congratulations and best wishes on this wonderful journey of 9 and starting of 10. I hope and wish that our collaboration will continue and we will only further enhance and strengthen this process. But for me, the man of the match or the thing which has turned this around has been the Government of India, the project Skill India itself. For a sector like rubber, like I just said, we had no formal training centers at all till 2012. We had a few training centers which were training for diploma programs, but not for programs on the shop floor. So you may be wondering how the industry survived without any training centers. Yes, we hired 10th dropout or 12th dropout students, took them onto the shop floor, and each industry trained them while they were on the shop floor with us. So which means none of them were skilled when they joined the industry, all of them unskilled, and over the years got trained in the respective industry. When Skill India came, it was a blessing in disguise. Today, we get skilled manpower right at level 3s and level 4, which you can deploy directly into our shop floors. And that has been one of the biggest blessings the industry has had. The government-funded programs have played a very important role in RCPSD's journey. I'm telling this in this forum because the secretary is here and the other stakeholders are also here. The rubber sector per se has around 80 to 85% small and tiny sector units. It's only 15% who are medium and large players. So if you see the role by a small and tiny sector will be limited when it comes to skilling ecosystem. If you look at the trainees who are getting trained for level 3 and level 4 programs are coming from very poor socio-economic backgrounds where they can't afford for training. So if nobody takes ownership, then how are we going to train them? Industry bodies, there are some industries using CSR funding for training. We get some numbers from them. We do have some NGOs assisting. We do have student paid models for level 5 and above. But this huge mammoth task of training the entire sector could have only happened with the support of the Government of India. And that's why I say that the Government of India and the Skill India with their funded projects have been the man of the match for the journey for RSDCP along the way. Sir, I would like to also tell you that we have done multiple projects as well. Like you just saw the e-Kaushal Acharya we just launched. I hope that this could be possibly a game changer in the skilling ecosystem. We are going to use e-Kaushal Acharya to enhance the existing training programs which are happening on the ground today. You could use these animated videos and training sessions to enhance your training program. More than anything, we had a suggestion in the board today that this can also open up borders. We could also train trainees outside India in countries which look forward training. We could also deploy trainers from abroad to bring in expertise to train people in the country as well. So there's a lot that this e-Kaushal Acharya can do in the years going forward. 2 special projects. One, which is already up and running, was the project Samarth. I think all of you know and heard about Project Samarth. The project was directioned to train tire fitters. We had got a data sometime back that about 150,000 plus road accidents which happened in the country were due to wrong fitment of tires, which eventually led to death of people. We felt that there was a concern area. In fact, during that time when Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan was the minister, even at that point of time, I had approached him and told him, sir, we could change that aspect of training. We would go and certify tire fitters who are sitting across the length and breadth of the country. We will take up the task and see that we train all of them to do better tire fitment. He told us start with 10 lakh numbers, that is 1 million, and we started the project. Now, how do we reach tire fitters sitting across the nook and corner of the country? We engaged mobile skill vans which had machinery in the van, going from location to location, training, hands-on the machine and certifying. So we had a lot of tire fitters, close to about 2 lakh tire fitters have been trained and certified over the last 3 years. Many of them after training took up entrepreneurship. We also handheld them to set up small puncture shops. They want to do their own business. We also did puncture shops for them. What we saw out of an impact assessment study that we did, it has changed the lives of these people. Many of them started earning better, started doing the job better, and also the community around them also started improving because of this project. It's an ongoing project. We had the entire support from Government of India which funded this project. Thanks to Mr. Pradhan at that point of time, and we hope to continue and complete the 1 million numbers that he had visioned at that time for us to take up. We are now launching today a second project with social impact. This is for the plastic sector. You would see a lot of rack pickers picking up plastic waste on the streets. They're working in completely not so safe conditions, health hazards, and not doing the right thing. There are close to about 3 to 4 million people, as per the current estimates that we have, who are doing this rack picking across the different parts of the country. We have developed the qualification packs for that job role, and we're going to start training and certifying these rack pickers. I'm sure it's going to have the same impact like it had for the tire fitters. We're going to train them on aspects of segregation, how to pick up, what are the safety precautions they need to take, and how they can enhance their job better, which will thereby help in better revenue for them and also uplift the lives of these rack pickers, making it more dignified in what they do, because a certification will definitely add to their self-dignity. The project, as I said, is going to be named Uthan. Uthan, I know all of you know, means upliftment. So through the project Uthan, we will be uplifting the life of the rack pickers who are across the length and breadth of the country. And we also hope to achieve this through these mobile skill vans. There's no other way we can reach them. So we're going to re-engage more mobile skill vans to ensure that we can reach out to these rack pickers, train them and certify them, thereby uplifting their lives as well. So I'm very happy to announce the project Uthan, and we'll be launching the project as well very soon. I want to thank all the stakeholders in the system on our journey of 9, and hope that you will continue to strengthen the role of Rspsdc in its efforts to create a skilling ecosystem for the rubber, chemical, and the petrochemical sector. It's a huge task entrusted to us by the Government of India. I always tell jokingly to my board members that rubber is a small sector compared to plastic and petrochemical. It is like an ant getting married to an elephant. That's the kind of task that we've been entrusted with. Nevertheless, we have started the journey in the right earnest, and I'm sure with all your support, with the Government of India, with the ministry, all the stakeholders, we will accomplish this task as well as we did for the rubber sector. Thank you all once again, and a very good evening.
Well, thank you so very much, sir. And I now like to formally request our chief guest to launch the program Uthan, Uplifting Lives of Plastic Waste Management Workforce. Can we please put our hands together? Many, many congratulations. Well, I think it's very, very important to continue uplifting people, especially since the times of the pandemic. So, can we please have a big round of applause on this wonderful, wonderful inauguration? All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to have Mr. Kishore P. Sampath to give the keynote address. But before that, I'd like to introduce him. Mr. Kishore Sampath is currently president of All India Plastics Manufacturers Association, popularly known as IPMA, which is a 75-year-old and the largest apex body of the plastic industry in India. Mr. Kishore Sampath is a successful businessman and owns a reputed 50-year-old company manufacturing and exporting all types of compostable polybags and recycling in name and style polythene industries inherited from his father. He has served as office bearer at several positions and is a managing committee member since over 15 years of the All India Plastics Manufacturers Association. The biggest contribution of Mr. Kishore Sampath to plastic industry was being founder and creator of AIPMA Job Fair, a platform created for employers to get professionally qualified candidates, and of course, the annual event today in Indian plastic industry. Can we please have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kishore Sampath. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Respected Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji, Chief Guest, Mr. Rami Chabra, Chairman, Rspsdc, Mr. Rajendra Gandhi ji, Mr. Vinod Simon ji, the Madam on the dais, my dear award winners, industry participants, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go to my formal speech, I would first like to inform Mr. Simon. Of course, rubber and plastics are a bit different, but India is known for arranged marriage and they are very successful. So I'm sure together we'll be doing a good job. On behalf of the All India Plastic Manufacturers Association, first I would like to appreciate, and we are very fortunate that we have Mr. Rajesh Agarwal ji as the secretary of this ministry, and we have a very, very good experience with him. His words are diamonds. He speaks very little and addresses the core issue very swiftly and gives the solution. We have a very good experience, so we are fortunate to have him, sir, and under his leadership, we will do great. Thank you all for inviting me here. I would like to congratulate Rspsdc for 10 years in the domain of skill development. My heartiest congratulations to the award winners for the best training partner, best assessment agency, best trainer and assessor, best trainees, best industry, and best central and state industry. My job today would be to introduce EPMA, give you an idea what is the potential and the skill requirements of the plastic industry, and how at EPMA we are addressing and working in this direction. My dear friends, the All India Plastic Manufacturers Association is a 75-year-old association, the biggest association in India. We have our head office in Andheri, Mumbai. We have got 2 independent buildings in MIDC. We have our building in Gurgaon, NCR, 20,000 square feet. We have our own office in Chennai, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, and that is how we have presence across India with more than 80 people staff. And my dear friends, the Indian plastic industry has around 50,000 processors, out of which more than 20,000 are our members. So that is our strength, and we are across India. Earlier, the role of the association was to go to Delhi with the list of demands, but now that era has gone, and today EPMA is mainly focusing on export enhancement, employment generation, skill development, plastic waste management, and technology modernization. EPMA is a member-based organization, and EPMA members are from 175 cities across India. 90% of our members are from the MSME sector. To give you the idea of the plastic industry, the plastic industry employs more than 50 lakh manpower currently, and however we project that within 8 to 10 years the requirement would be up to 15 lakh skilled workers, and we are growing at around 12 to 15% annually. EPMA has established a center of excellence, that is MTech, in Mumbai with an objective to train students and upskill the professionals on reverse engineering, additive manufacturing, product design, plastic packaging. We have invested more than 20 crore rupees in this project to upskill and bring the industry to modern trends. Recently, EPMA has also started skilling activities. We have got a work order from Haryana government for short-term training programs for plastics for more than 200 candidates. We are also executing an order of 5,000 for a quantity of 5,000 people under RPL scheme for the Haryana government. And we are going to expand our footprint across the country and work closely with Ministry of Skill Development, Rubber and Petrochemical Skill Development Council, state missions and mobilization agency. So this is the future and we are taking it very seriously, and we have created a full vertical to look after the skill development projects. My dear friends, it is a collective responsibility of the government, the private sector and our development partners to design and implement practical programs to generate decent employment, reduce poverty among the youth and economically empower them to play a more meaningful role in the development and upliftment of the community and the nation at large. With these few words, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Rspsdc for giving me this opportunity. Thanking you. I request the Ministry of Skill Development for their continued support so that the industry gets skilled manpower. And I would also like to congratulate the award winners, and together we can make a better India and we'll do it. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Can we have a bigger round of applause, please? Thank you. Well, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the most awaited moment of the day, the presentation of awards. Are you excited? Yes? Looking forward? So the awards to be distributed by Chief Guest Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, along with guests with all distinguished on the dais. Well, the winners are to be announced by Mr. Rajiv Buddhiraja, Director General, ATMA. And so now we are going to begin with the first category. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to begin with the first category on Best Training Partner of Rspsdc. Well, our best training partner is Short-Term Training Program to Medhavi Foundation. Many congratulations. Well, the next best training partner is for recognition of prior learning to Asthan Foundation. Can we have a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen? And the next award is to National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, NAPS, to Yashasvi Group, please. Big round of applause. Many congratulations and very well deserved. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the category of Best Trainer. The first place goes to Rubber to Mr. Om Nath Sharma. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Many congratulations. Zordar taaliyan, please, everyone. And the next award is Plastic to Mr. Karmveer Prasad Shah. Can we have him up on stage? And big round of applause. Mr. Karmveer Prasad Shah. All right, we move on to the Best Trainee Rubber Manufacturing, and the first prize is for Mr. Amjad Khan. Big round of applause, please, everyone. Many congratulations and very well deserved. Big round of applause, please. Many congratulations. And our second prize is for Mr. Pankaj Chaudhary. Can we have a big round of applause? Come on, louder, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we move on to the Best Trainee NR Planation, and our first prize is for Mr. Jitendra Sangma. Can we please have him up on stage? Zordar taaliyan. Many congratulations. And our second prize goes to Miss Dilchira Sangma. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Dilchira Sangma. Please do put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Louder, come on, from the back. Congratulations. We move on to the Best Trainee Plastic Manufacturing, and the first prize is for Mr. Bishwajit Gogo. Can we please have him up on stage? Many congratulations. Zordar taaliyan, please, everyone. Congratulations. Our second prize is for Miss Sumi Pijar. Let's have her up on stage. Zordar taaliyan, please, everyone, from the back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the category of Best Assessment Agency, and the first prize is for Mercer Medal. Come on, can we please have the person up on stage? Big round of applause. Many congratulations. All right. Our next prize is for Trendsetter Skill Assessors Private Limited. Can we please put our hands together? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, there's no dinner if you don't put your hands together. All right, our next prize is for Invigilate. Can we have the person up on stage? Come on, please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Louder, come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the category of Best Assessor. And the Best Assessor, first prize is rubber goes to Mr. Jugal Chandradas. Can we please put our hands together? It's a very, very good exercise for the heart. All right, the next prize is for Best Assessor. Plastic goes to Mr. Yogesh Babulal Gomladu. Can we please have him up on stage? Zordar taliyan, please. Many, many, many congratulations. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on to a special category now for Government Department, the prize is for Assam Skill Development Mission. Can we please have a big round of applause? Come on, Zordar Dania, please, everybody from the back. Louder. Thank you. You truly are a wonderful audience. Well, many congratulations. We move on to the special category of Best Industry Partner Rubber. And this goes to Apollo Tyres Limited. Come on, can we have a big round of applause? Many, many, many congratulations. Thank you. All right, and this is the last one, the special category, Best Industry Partner. All right, the special category for Best Industry Partner in Plastic is for Supreme Industries Limited. The Supreme Industries Limited. Can we have a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen? Many, many congratulations. Very well deserved. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for the last time? The last award for the evening. All right, thank you so very much. Thanks to all. I request you to kindly take seat. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. I'm sure the dinner is going to taste very, very good now, yeah? All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our chief guest address. I request our honorable chief guest, Honorable Shri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, for his words of guidance. Well, Shri Agarwal, an officer of 1989 batch, IAS, Indian Administrative Service, Maharashtra, has worked in central government and Maharashtra state government. In central government, he's worked as Joint Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Finance Ministry, and Director, Jan Dhan Mission. He also worked as Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and as Director General, Training, Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Earlier, he worked as Director in Election Commission of India, and prior to this, he's handled various important positions in state government and has worked extensively as IT Secretary there. He has been on the board of Punjab National Bank, IFCI, National Insurance Company, CDAC, and more, and has also worked as CMD, National Insurance Company. Has BTech and IIT Delhi in Computer Science and Engineering in 1987. Well, that's a whole lot of hats. Can we please put our hands together? Thank you. We are glad to have you, sir, and we request your address.
First of all, congratulations to all the award winners and covering the whole spectrum of skill and industry ecosystem. So 3 days back, I was with the Green Sector Skill Council guys. Today it is 180-degree turn. So that's what is common to all three sectors. But rubber, plastics, chemicals, petrochems, you are a great contributor to GDP as well as the number of jobs. And I've been lucky to be associated with this sector in last 2 years. I was in Petroleum Ministry, Chemical Petrochem Ministry, etc. So I was on board of ONGC, BPCL, so very strong on the petrochemical side. I was on board of CPET, so I know a bit about plastic sector and so on. So as was mentioned that rubber, when we go to natural rubber tapping and tree growing, we are talking of tribal areas, remote areas, and very poor people. Then we learned about tire puncture walas and millions of them. So basically the poorest sections of society. Plastic sector, huge number of MSMEs, one of the biggest, small units, micro units. Petrochem on the other side, basically projects started $2 billion, $4 billion investments. So a whole spectrum. And interestingly, all put together in one sector skill council. So on the job side, we saw the whole skilling guys here. But now the ministry, basically from the ministry side, we'd like more on the job skilling component also to be part of pure skilling. So our skilling courses, whether it is ITI or PMKVY, there just can't be one training center with the classroom and lab. There has to be on the floor element, on the shop floor element. So the apprenticeship has to be embedded into everywhere. I'm happy your sector is, and Sector Skill Council is active on this front, but we need to do almost 10x numbers of the present numbers. Present number of 2-3 lakhs per annum is pathetic, frankly. We must have at least 2 million apprentices every year. So we have been talking to various stakeholders, and in fact tomorrow we are issuing quite a all-round apprentice part, unshackling lot of processes. So the act is not so restrictive, but over the years, the processes, the portal, that has made life difficult for industry, that apprentices as well as TPAs. So we are trying to unshackle this. So we hope that will help everyone. Then Sector Skill Council, my request would be to focus a bit more on the entrepreneurship side also. So my ministry is called Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So we have been traditionally focusing only on sector skills part, but the entrepreneurship part is very, very important. So now a lot of special projects or ministry budget would also go into a lot of entrepreneurship or skill plus entrepreneurship kind of courses. Now we are talking of net zero kind of sector, every sector becoming net zero carbon footprint. So your sector has to do a lot of innovations. So the circular economy part, and Gandhiji was sort of educating me while we were waiting in the lounge. So the circular part is very, very important, circular economy. So whether you are sort of reusing the rubber or you gave us rubber pots, but so in the entire chain, whether it is chemical, so I was in the petroleum ministry, so whether it is BS6 there, the sulfur taking out, then using sulfur in a, again, not to environmentally bad fashion, then all the byproducts, whether it is heat or gas or whatever, so how they get reused. So there is massive scope and massive number of jobs also possible there. So any special project from rubber side, plastic side, petrochem side, we would welcome any projects, any special projects on that side. Reducing carbon footprint, circular economy part, that part.
In the last 2 months, I have joined as secretary. We had multiple meetings with both the ministers, and all of us feel in the ministry and NSDC and NCVET that the sector needs total redirection. So over next 2-3 months, you will see quite a shake-up in the way the ministry functions, quite a massive change. And in fact, I and Ved came from another function to this together in one car, and we were having a chat on what NSDC will look like in not 10 years, but in next 6 months. It will go a transformation, and you would have started seeing some transformation happening there. So the role of SSCs, the role of TPs, how the TP network can be used beyond just training courses of PMKVY. The network is huge. Are we using the network properly? So anyone with a footprint of 40,000 partners would be a unicorn by now. Why we are not? Why we are, when we say we, it means NSDC, SSCs, TPs, AAs, everyone put together. Why should it be only government taxpayers' money which is sort of funding the whole system? So how do we become self-sustainable? And the scope is massive. So ministry and NSDC, we will be sort of throwing up a lot of ideas over next 1 month and then going into execution stage over next 6-7 months. So we would invite all of you to be part of this and not be left behind. And today we have given a lot of awards to best this, best this, best this. And I hope in 3 months we can, when we say who are the best SSCs, so your SSC should be grabbing that award also. So a new kind of innovations and all of that stuff. So 1 or 2 more points I would like to speak about. So now luckily our Minister Dharmendra Pradhan ji is also the Minister of Education as well as Skills. And now the new education policy talks of mixing of school and college education with vocational. That is where sort of we have lagged behind other developed nations. In our schools, we are teaching our kids rote learning. We are not teaching them hands-on skills. So if you go through NEP document now, it says 9th to 12th, skill courses will have at the same standing. A carpentry or plastic course may have the same value as a physics course, as a history course. So we are launching 5,000 skill hubs. Within December, that scheme will be rolled out. So to start with, that's a pilot. So schools, etc., they will also become training centers. So after hours, Prime Minister has also said कि सामाजिक चेतना के अंदर बनना चाहिए, स्कूल को, ITI को शाम को ताला लग जाता है. तो why are we wasting resources? तो maybe starting with dropout kids और nearby area के जो reskilling चाहिए जिनको, तो उसके लिए भी these centers will be used, these training centers will be used. So the training partners के लिए भी it's a huge opportunity where you have tie-ups with Samagra Shiksha and schools and ITIs or PMKK centers. So maybe this year's 40-50% budget will go into this project, PMKVY budget. So this sort of a funding wise also big for us, but as an idea also it's big. And then a lot of, when we talk of NEP, school and college and vocational mixing, so we are hoping that by January end, both the ministries put together and all the regulators put together, UGC, AICT and NCVET, we would have declared a credit framework. So, and horizontal and vertically mobility between the systems. So, an ITI child getting 12th class certification, a 12th class student getting ITI or PMKK certification, and you would be more interested as industry to know that we'd be willing to say that industry run courses or apprenticeship done by college students in industry, they will earn the same number of credits. And industry courses will be at the same acknowledgement levels as UGC or NCVET approved courses. So if a 4-year engineering college student spends 1 year in industry on the shop floor, or even doing a digital apprenticeship with Accenture or Microsoft or IBM, or even your system, you are launching digital systems. So they should earn the same credits. So rather than just being hobby project during summer
vacations. So this is a big change in the system, and this is coming, all the regulators, all the secretaries of education and skill, etc. We are working together as a team, and this will be a big thing, and all of you have to be sort of part of this whole new system. So basically that's from my side, and I came as a substitute. Last minute, our Mantri ji, Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, sort of, he was called by the Home Minister for a group of ministers meeting. So in the afternoon, he got a message कि राजेश आप जा सकते हो क्या? मैंने कहा मंत्री जी कहाँ फंसा रहे हो? But now after coming here, interacting with all of you, I feel very happy to be a substitute today as a 12th man, and being part of the whole system today. And so it's a well-spent evening for me with all of you, and I have been a part of this plastic petrochemical parivar since 2 years, but I'm a part of this now bigger parivar. Thank you so much, and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so very much, sir. Well, it's now the moment to give mementos to sponsors. Rspsdc would like to express gratitude to our sponsors for providing the extended support in the form of sponsorship. Our platinum sponsor, JK Tire and Industries, has shared a small video to be displayed on Smart Tires. Let's watch the video on Smart Tire TVC, ladies and gentlemen.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tire, buddy.
JK Smart Tire, the tire with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tire.
Thank you. Can we please put our hands together? I now request Mr. Mohinder Gupta, Governing Council Member, Rspsdc, to come on stage to give our first set of mementos. I invite Mr. Amit Gujarat, Chief Marketing Officer, JK Tires and Industries, to come on stage and receive the memento on behalf of JK Tires. Can we please put our hands together? Congratulations. Can I request Mr. Mohinder Gupta to give the memento for gold sponsorship to Clocknecker Desma Machinery Private Limited? Can we please put our hands together? Many congratulations. I now request Mr. Sandeep Gupta, Regional In Charge, Clocknecker Desma Machinery Private Limited, to receive the memento on behalf of the company. Can we please put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen? I now request Mr. Mohinder Gupta to give the memento for gold sponsorship to Sunaina Samriddhi Foundation, and Mr. Manish Kumar Singh to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Can we please put our hands together, everyone? I now request Mr. Mohinder Gupta to give the memento for silver sponsorship to Mercer Metal and Ms. Shalaka Yadav to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let the enthusiasm not fail at all. Please put your hands together louder. Thank you. I now request Mr. Mohinder Gupta to give the memento for silver sponsorship to Trendsetter Skill Assessors Private Limited and Mr. Rajkumar Mantu to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Sudhanshu Pathak, Governing Council Member of Rspsdc and Head HR and OD JK Tire and Industries to come on stage to give our next set of mementos. I request Dr. Sudhanshu Pathak to give the memento for silver sponsorship to Netaji Seva Sansthan and Mr. Piyush Ranjan to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Can we please put our hands together, everyone? All right, can I request Dr. Sudhanshu Pathak to give the memento for silver sponsorship to Amar Lakshmi Sansthan and Mr. Shravan Kumar to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. I request Dr. Sudhanshu Pathak to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to Iris Corporate Solutions Private Limited and Mr. Sanjay Kapoor to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. I request sir to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to SP Institute of Workforce Development Private Limited and Mr. Kuldeep Raito to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Thank you. I request Dr. Sudhanshu Pathak to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to Invigilate Mr. Nikhil Balachandran to kindly collect the memento on behalf of Invigilate. Can we please have a big round of applause? I now request Dr. K. Rajkumar, Governing Council Member of Rspsdc and Director IRMRA to kindly come on stage to give our next set of mementos. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I request Dr. K. Rajkumar to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to Medhavi Foundation and Mr. Pravesh to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Can we please put our hands together, everyone? Of the bronze sponsorship to Medhavi Foundation, and this is for Mr. Pravesh. We now move on to bronze sponsorship to AGR Talent Consulting LLP and Mr. Prem to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. All right. I request Dr. K. Rajkumar to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to KIPS Educational Charitable Trust and Mr. Rahul to please connect the memento on behalf of the company. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you all. I request Dr. K. Rajkumar to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to Profexo Edutech Private Limited and Mr. M. Santoshto to kindly collect the memento on behalf of the company. Can we please put our hands together? Congratulations. All right, I request Dr. K. Rajkumar to give the memento for bronze sponsorship to Inabrum Technologies Private Limited, and Mr. Sandeep to please come on stage and collect the memento on behalf of the company. I request the concerned person from IRIS also to please come on stage and collect the memento. Can we please put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Thank you so very much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we come towards the end of this wonderful, wonderful evening, let's put our hands together and invite our wonderful guests on stage to pass their mementos. Chairman Rspsdc, Mr. Rami Chabra, to our chief guest, Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji. Now to Mr. Rajendra Gandhi and also to Mr. Yogesh P. Sampath. Can we please put our hands together, everyone? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause, please, for all our esteemed guests? Louder, please, come on. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, can we please continue the applause? Thank you so very much to our esteemed guests for sparing time, for sparing their precious, precious time and being here with us today. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this wonderful ceremony, I'd like to request COO Rspsdc, Ms. Shivani Naikpal, to kindly promote a formal vote of thanks. I request everyone.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks for this occasion. On behalf of Rubber Chemical and Petrochemical Skill Development Council, members of Governing Council members, and the entire team conveys deep regards and thanks to Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji, IAS Secretary from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, for joining us as a chief guest. I'd also like to thank Mr. Rajendra Gandhi, Managing Director from GRP Limited, and Mr. Kishore P. Sampath, President from All India Plastic Manufacturing Association, for gracing the award ceremony and sharing us the vision from the industry side as well in the space of skill development. We are greatly encouraged by their gracious presence and immensely benefited by the inspiring address. We are extremely grateful to our jury members, Mr. Rajiv Budhiraja, Director General of ATMA, Mr. Mohinder Gupta, Managing Director from Alaska, and Mr. Vinod Simon, our past chairman, for guiding us in the evaluation process for different categories and establishing Rspsdc awards as most popular in the space. My sincere thanks to the sponsors of today's event for their support and encouragement for Council's activities and making today's event successful. I also take this opportunity to thank officials joining us from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, from Ministry of Industries and Commerce as well, from NCVT, from NSDC for their continuous support and guidance. I convey thanks to all the distinguished participants who have come from different places to attend our annual awards, and this has been a continuous support from all of you. Now, the most important and my special thanks to Rspsdc staff for their dedication, their teamwork, and untiring efforts. They have all worked with great smiles, shoulder to shoulder, to make this event successful. So my sincere thanks to the team. And I would also like to thank our chairman, Mr. Rami Chabra, and our past chairman, Mr. Vinod Simon, for their continuous guidance and cooperation and making this event very successful. At the end, once again, thank you to all the distinguished guests who are present in the hall today for coming and attending this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Ms. Shivani Nagpal. Can we please put our hands together for her and genuinely for each and every single member behind the scenes who worked so very hard. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your very well-deserved cocktail and dinner lies ahead. So please enjoy yourselves, and thank you so very much for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have the national anthem before that. I request you to please stand up. Thank you.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so very much. I now request all of us to please go ahead for cocktails and dinner. Thank you.